Good morning, Twyla from Twyla's Totes. Hope you guys are doing good today. Today's video, I'm working on the Rachel handbag from from Sincerely Jen, and I'm using as my accent pink pumps, the glittery Ace glitter from Mormino, and from the Empurrium Rescue Kitties. Aren't they adorable? See, there's both my kitties. There's Lemon right there, the orange one. And then this is Mindy, the gray tabby. So cute. I wanted to do this, since it came out. This one has the little slip pocket in the front, and there's also a slip pocket in the back. But I thought it would be really cute, done in the Rescue Kitties. I did a cutting video the other day, so hopefully y'all saw that one. But I wanted to show you, I did a little bit of prep. I did my bow. I prepped my bow already. And what you do with this is you take the bow cut out and you tape it to the bow back. Then you top stitch all around your bow, but not these little side tabs. You go up around the bow. Then you cut it out. And then you cut one of the tabs from the front bow, and then on the other side you cut the back tab piece so that when they layer together they're not so thick. And then I just stitched in the center and here's our top stitched around the center tab that's going to go in there. Okay, so today this morning we're going to get started. I'm going to do double-sided handles and my crossbody strap. Okay, so I'll put you down here in position so you can see what we're doing. Hold on just a sec. Okay, that looks pretty good right there. Get my trash can over here closer to me. Okay, and I might do my crossbody strap later. It's just like we normally do. Fold it to the center, fold it again. Okay? So I'll do that later, but we're going to do the double-sided handles right now. And what I'm going to do is put a piece of tape down the center of each strap. And then we're going to fold these in and butt the raw edges together. Okay, there we go. Okay, here we go. Move the taping back, fold these into that line. These are going to be 3/4 inch strap. And there's the option of putting a D-ring on the handles so that you can hang charms or whatever from it. I don't think I'm going to do that today. And I'm using, I decided on rose gold hardware. I thought that would be pretty. It kind of brings out the orange kitty. Let's do one of the other ones so we can put it together. We're doing the same with the contrast or the other print. We've got the pink and then the kitty cats. We're just butting, like I said, we're just butting those raw edges up together, because when we put them together, we will put them wrong sides. Okay, so I'll get another piece of tape and put it down the center here. Remove the backing. Okay, we're going to take the wrong side and we're going to place it together with the wrong side of this one. And I'm just going to match up the edges all the way down. There we go. Press it down. Look at those faces. Aren't they adorable? Okay. Let me do these two so we can get them both done at the same time. And then move on. This is one of my favorite colors. I love the pink pumps and the teal tinsel. But I don't think she's carrying those anymore. This particular manufacturer anyway. But I could be wrong, so. Well, at the end of this video, I'll show you the little bit I just experimented with the donut hole by knotted threads. I was trying out the ripstop, self-adhesive ripstop, and I'm still probably going to have to glue it, but I didn't necessarily have to do the basting stitch together, because I just notched it and folded them in, and it stuck really nice to the Decaville. Come on. All the sides together. There we go. Now we're going to top stitch down both sides. when I was doing my bow the other day, yesterday. I took like 2 stitches and then my foot fell off. I guess it was tired from all the sewing I was doing the other day. So I'm done. I'm taking a nap. There we go. There's our handles. Double-sided. Beautiful. Look at those stitches. Gorgeous. Okay. Now we're going to move on. We already got the bow done. So we'll skip to the next. Okay. We're going to take the bottom accent. And we're going to take the top trim, bottom accent, here's the other, or this is the stripe where the bow goes. We're going to take those, and I'm going to get one of the main panel pieces here. Okay, so when we put it together, that's going to be our accent. Look how adorable that is. Gorgeous. Okay, first off, we're going to attach the stripe accent. I'm trying to get the words right of what they're called. And we're going to put it together with, I gotta mark those. Hold on, let me mark that really quick because I didn't mark it yet. So that we have that. And I want to go ahead and there it is, my blade. I want to go ahead and cut this while I'm here so I don't forget to do it. This is where the bow's going to go through. Oh no. I'm going to have to take that down. It didn't heat press very well. Okay. Looks like we went through. We're okay. Yep. Okay. We're good. Got that down. Now, match up our centers. And we're going to sew this on with our, what is it, the 3/8 inch. I'm going to grab my bottom accent piece, and it's got a slight bow to it, and that's going to be the bottom. Match up our centers. There we go. Okay, we're going to flip this bottom accent towards the bottom. The seam allowances are underneath the bottom, and we're going to top stitch. There we go. Okay, the top piece we're not going to top stitch yet. Okay, I'm going to mark for the handle placement. I'm going to mark it on this side because I can't see it very well over there. Okay, we'll grab one of our handles. Just trimming my ends a little bit. Okay. And then this is where you would put the D-ring on if you were going to put one on here. Let's slide it on there. And we're going to make sure that I'm going to have my accent color down, and I'm going to find the edge of that and mark there. Okay. Make sure your handle is not twisted. There we go. Okay, see? Okay, and I'm just going to stitch that down. Oops. And we'll do the other handle, same. And these handles will go up into the seam allowance once we put our top piece on, and they'll be stitched down in there. See? It's going to be so cute. Okay, we'll put this aside for now, and we're going to grab one of our top pieces here, and one of our lining, main body lining pieces. And I'm just going to mark my centers on each one really quick. No, I don't want the main body lining piece. Don't listen to me. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, oops, one of the slip pocket. There we go. One of our slip pocket sets here. Let's grab one of those. Okay. Still, I want to mark the top of each one just so that I can center it a little bit more easily. Because we're now creating the secret slip pocket. Okay. We'll mark the bottom of this one. Okay. Got that mark. Okay, we're going to place this, oops, right side up. We'll match our centers. We'll clip it in place. And then we're going to sew this on at 1/4 inch seam allowance. We'll pull that down with the seam going behind the lining. Okay, and we're going to top stitch on the lining. So make sure that seam is down good. Got that part done. Looks good. Looks good. Okay, I forgot. I wanted to put my nameplate on here before I got too far. Bucket. I couldn't decide, so let's look. I don't think that's going to work. That's too bright. And then I have this black one, which might look good. I don't want to cover up any of the kitty cats, so I might put it over to the side here. What do you think? That one looks good. I have a hot pink one. Oh, that one might look good. Oh, I can't decide. I thought I knew which one I wanted to do, and now I can't decide. And then I have this little pink one. No, not that one. Okay, between those two, which one do we like better? The hot pink or the black and silver? Okay, the black and silver, I think the cats show up more. The hot pink, I think it draws too much attention to that. So we're going to use the black one. Okay. And I'm just going to pick a spot right in here where there's no kitty cat. I could put it up here, but I think down here is going to look good. Don't want to hide my kitty cats. There we go. Let me get that stitched on really quick. I'm going to leave my tails long here. I think I need to practice on these because my corners still don't come out so pretty. Sometimes they do. Too far. There we go. I guess you guys were lucky for me today. They look pretty good today. Okay, we're just going to tie these off. Look at that. My corners look good. Not bad at all. Okay, now we've top stitched that. Moving on to the next part. We're going to take this and we're going to put it together with our stripe piece. Okay, match up their edges here. Oh, I need to make marks on here first. Let me do that first. We're going to go 4.5 inches. Oh, I just didn't even mark that, did I? Did I grab the wrong one? I grabbed the wrong one. Some of my pens work and some of them don't. It's just a matter of finding which one's going to work. There we go. Okay. What I've drawn is my seam allowance and how far in I want to sew this. There we go. That's better. Okay, now let's put it together. I'm going to clip it right along here. I'm going to match up this end and clip it. Okay, and this is the part where it's a little tricky making sure that you get it in there. So I'm going to put a little piece of tape. just above that. Oops. Use that piece on the other side. Okay, I just put it just above that, just past my mark here. I'm going to remove that, line up my edges again. Clip it, and then tape that down. Okay, that looks good. Now I'll do the same on this other side here. And put a little piece of tape just above that. Then we're going to match up our sides. Okay, now we're going to sew from this end down, and we're going to stop here. We're not going to turn here, we're just going to stop at that point. Okay. I forgot to change my seam length, my stitch length. It's okay. I'm making sure that I need my hump jumper. There we go. Let's see what I did. As I sewed along that line, and I stopped right there. We're going to do the same on this side. Shift. There we go. Same on that side. Okay. And we've got our partial slip pocket done. Okay. Next, excuse me. Next, we're going to put in our bow. Where did I put my bow? There it is. Where's our bow? I'm going to take the centerpiece and find the slits that I made and feed it through. This part gets a little cumbersome. I might need to trim it just a little bit more. There we go. I don't know why it's giving me issues here. might not be giving me issues, it's just that it's, like I said, it's cumbersome. Get it in there. There we go. We're going to put it in the top one also, and then we'll slide our bow through it. I lost a couple fingernails the other day, so my hands don't know how to work without them. There we go. Got my little loop here. And then I'm going to slide my bow in. Get in there. There we go. We're going to pull those tight. There she is. Looks cute. Okay. Pull those tight through there. Okay. Then we're gonna put a little piece of tape here to hold this seam up, because we want this seam to go into the folded up into the accent. Okay, see, I put a piece of tape there. Fold that seam up like that. Okay, and then I'm going to put a piece of tape on the bow tabs here. Just to hold it down out of the way. Eventually we're going to be sewing over that, so it'll stay down. So much tape. There we go. Okay, down, down. This is up. And we're going to sew, or we're going to fold this down. Oh, I forgot to mark that. There's a mark on that one too, wasn't there? Because I want to make sure that this folds down into that part too. Hold on just a sec. Let me look for the marking. Okay. Now, I've got that folded down out of the way, the bow. And the seam allowance is up towards the accent stripe. So what we're going to do now is we're going to top stitch on that section there. Okay, we might have to, we're going to have to move the bow out of the way a little bit as we go. Okay, got that top stitched across the bottom there. Okay, we still haven't top stitched this upper part yet. So next what we're going to do Move that out of the way, fold that out of the way. We're going to take our other piece of lining, and what I've done is I've folded down. I put a little piece of tape here so that we can fold down this seam right here. Okay, and the handle is going up. I've got that down. There we go. Okay, we'll put a piece of tape there on our lining piece here, across the top of it. And we're going to line it up with our other lining piece. I'm going to see where I'm working with this bottom seam right here. Folded it down. See, the handles are going up. And I'm going to place this on that seam, matching my centers all the way down. Make sure my pocket sides are matched up also. Okay. Down. Now what I'm going to do is flip it over. And what we're going to do is top stitch. This seam splayed open, butterflied open, and we're going to top stitch along the pink accent here. Okay. The handle should be up. Both lining pieces should be up. No, don't go away. Stay. Use my hump jumper here. Make sure you move your bow out of the way as you go. And just be careful that you're not stitching the opening closed. Oh, there we go. Just my bow. Okay. See what we've done there is we've top stitched across the top part. We still have our hidden pocket. See, I didn't stitch it closed. It's hidden. Okay. I'm going to put that seam down. There we go. We're going to line up the pockets here. Match them up, the sides, I should say, of the pocket pieces. And we're going to sew up each side and then across the bottom. Okay. So from this side, and what we're going to do is we're going to stitch all the way up, but not past this stitch line. Okay, on both sides. And it's at 3/8. side I'm going to have to stitch going down because I don't have a marking on that side for my 3/8. That's okay. We'll get all those threads cut off, and then I'm going to trim the bottom of it. There we go. Voila. Front panel done. So let's do this with the back panel, except we won't have to worry about the bow, which will be nice. Okay, so we will grab our centerpiece, our lining pieces, pocket lining pieces, and our bottom accent and our accent stripe. I'm just going to mark my centers real quick because I haven't done that on here. This back piece will be a little bit easier, like I said, because we don't have the bow, so we can top stitch sooner on that other one. Okay, here we go. Go back to the beginning, that part. Like I said, we're not putting the bow on, so. Okay, here. We've got our stripe top piece. Just make sure if you have directional print that you're putting it the correct way so that it doesn't end up upside down. You don't want your bag upside down. The kitties will get dizzy. If they're upside down for too long. Okay, the accent goes away from main panel with the seams down. Top stitch. Let me check my bobbin real quick. Doing good. Okay, we're going to sew on this top stripe piece. Pretty sure we can go ahead and top stitch this piece because we're not worried about sewing the bow down. stitch. I'm going to go ahead and put the seams up towards the accent stripe here and top stitch it. Okay, now we're going to take our top piece here, mark my center, we're going to take our lining pieces, pocket to lining, slip pocket lining pieces. Oh, I forgot to do that. Don't let me forget to do that. Oh my goodness. We got to put the handles on. I would have been so upset. Let me grab my handles real quick and do that first. Well, I can do this and then I'll put the handle on. Okay, line up the centers. And we're going to sew this on at 1/4 inch. Okay, we'll fold this down with the seam towards the bottom. Okay, and we will top stitch across the bottom, or across the lining there. Okay, looks good. Okay, put that away for a second. Put that aside while I get this handles on. Where's my other handle? There it is. Right, well, I've got my pen out. Let's go ahead and mark this. That's our stitch line and our stop mark. There we go. Got that right. Okay, put that away. Now, place the handle. Make sure it's not twisted. Okay, and then we'll stitch that on. Good thing y'all reminded me. I've hated to have forgotten the handle. On one side anyway. I think I would have noticed eventually, maybe. Okay, there we go. Now, I'll put a little bit of tape on here like I did on the last one. Let's see, there. And there we go. I'm going to match up our sides here like we did earlier. Take the tape off first. Tape backing. There. Okay, I'm going to tape this one. Match up our edges. Okay. Now we're going to sew. I feel like I need to. Nope, we're still okay. Just for a little bit. And get this part done, and then I'll change it. Okay, we're going to sew along that line. Okay, and then we're going to sew on the other side. Okay, got our one side done. Looks good. Okay, fold that up out of the way. And we're going to tape this down like we did on the other one. pull this seam down. There we go. Okay, then we're going to take our other side of our lining piece. Piece tape across there. Okay, we're going to match up our centers and line up the sides of the pocket. Make sure the handles are up out of the way. Okay, I'm going to splay that seam open, butterfly it open over here, and top stitch on the, I'm going to change this because I'm worried that I won't have enough to top stitch. Okay. Trade it out. Okay, now we're going to top stitch on the line or the accent stripe piece. Make sure your handles are up out of the way. And I'm not stitching through the opening because we don't want to stitch it closed. Okay, there we go. Hold that down. There it is. We've got our hidden slip pocket on the back side. And we're going to do the same with stitching up the sides here as we did on the other pocket. Remember, don't go past that stitching. Okay, there we go. We'll trim the bottom. And there we go. Now we've got the back side done. And eventually we're going to put some rivets through to hold that. Okay. Front and back. Now we'll put these together. We're going to match our accent stripes here. That they line up. And this is, I don't know if I mentioned, this is a drop-in lining. We'll match up down here. Make sure we get our bottom accent lined up there. Just want everything to match up nicely. Okay. Okay, those stitches look good. Let's do the other side. And then we'll trim down the seam allowance a little bit. There we go. Okay, the stitches look good. Okay, we're going to trim this down. I'm leaving a little extra at the bottom and the top so that when we go to put it together with the lining, got a little bit more to fold open there. Get them to lay nicely together. Okay, now we need our bottom exterior. There it is. Okay. What she suggested is to do a 3/4 inch top stitch around the outside here just to give it a decorative, so I'm going to do that. I'm not going to backstitch. I'll leave the tails long and pull them through. Okay, we're going to tie these off. Guess you could put purse feet on this if you wanted to. Ooh, that looks good. Can you see it? Looks good. Okay, now I'm going to do some notches around the curved parts here. Just little notches to help it splay open to fit into the curve nicely. And she suggested if you like to use staples to go ahead and do that, which I might, because my materials sometimes slip when I'm going around the curves, and I want this to look really nice. I'll do this end. Might have to go have some lunch here in a minute. It's starting to get a little lightheaded. Always forget to hydrate while I'm sewing. Okay. Now, we're going to match up our sides first. Go along the straight edges here. Let's do the other side. This might not slip too much because the glitter vinyl sometimes sticks to itself. We will see. And I'm going to butterfly open that seam down there and match up the centers. and then work our way around the curve. And we'll do this side. Work our way into the curve there. I might put a couple staples on here just because I'm worried about it staying in place. Okay, do the same thing on this end. That seam butterfly goes in there. And we're going to work our way around the curves. Okay, I'm gonna get my stapler real quick so I can put a few in the curved areas here. Try not to go too far into the seam allowance when you do this. So that you don't sew over your staples. You want it just enough to hold it in place. And don't forget to take them out when you're done. Okay, did that in. Let's do this in. A couple more on this end, and we should be good. One more. There we go. Okay, we're going to start on the straight end. Let me get a drink of water real quick. Okay, let's see. Okay, we're going to sew around this with our 3/8 seam allowance. I've got my screwdriver to help hold it together. And if you have a, you can use your stiletto or your hemostats if they start to slip, if the pieces start to slip. sure the lining for my pockets are out of the way. Place your hand inside. Helps to maneuver your pieces some, especially around those curves. Don't shift, don't shift. There we go. Now what I can do, because we have to trim this, I might be able to just trim and get the staples off at the same time. Okay, I'm just going to trim it down a little bit. And if your staples, like I said, are up out of the seam allowance enough, just trim away. There's one staple. I have to remove it real quick. Got a couple right here that are just too close to out. Wasn't able to trim those out. There we go. See? It's able to trim that staple out. Several of them. And that saved a little bit of time because I didn't have to sit there and pull all those out. Okay. So we've got our main piece done. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it out so I can see it. Or I should say, so that we could see it. Maybe I should trim that down some. My bow tails. was like, oh no, it's loose in there, but that's just the pocket. Oh, this is the Decaville. Okay, looks good. Put the pockets down the side. Look how cute she's looking so far. So cute. The bottom looks really good. Making sure I did put Decaville heavy in there. Yep. Looks good. Okay. Okay, I'm going to pause right here real quick. I'm going to go get some lunch. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. That didn't take too long. Well, let's work on our lining. So cute. I don't know where to put her now. I'll put her over here. Okay. We're going to grab one of our main lining pieces. Let's mark these really quick. Mark the centers. My top and bottom centers. Excuse me. Oh, I need to see if I have the one of the tags that says may contain cat hair. I should put that on here. Let me grab one of my books and see. One of my sewing blurb books. Let's see. Don't know if I have the cat hair one or not. Like that one. I like this one. Enjoy the little things. Oh no. Here, let's do this one. Perfection is overrated. Be awesome instead. Let's do that one. Sometimes if I'm doing a zipper overlay, I'll put two. One under the zipper overlay and one on the oh, I have the paw prints with the hang in there. That would be cute. Oh, I wonder if we could put that on the zipper overlay part. That would be cute. Okay. Close it. Now, get our zipper overlay piece. That cool shape. It's so different. Makes it interesting. I was thinking, right? Can you see that? Let me turn this light back on. You can see that. There you go. That would be cute. I might put that there. Okay, let me do that first while I'm thinking about it. So once I get it sewn on to the bag, I won't be able to put it there. Looks good. So cute. Oh, I gotta turn it back on. Duh. Just pull those threads through. So tie them off on the back. Oh, we also need our lining piece. Let me grab that. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. So cute. Our lining piece. Okay, we are going to mark across the top here. And then we're going to put some tape just across the top of that line we've marked. And then we're going to fold our straight edge down to that line. There we go. Okay. Now on the back of here, I'm going to put some tape along. I'll put it on the back of this piece here. Okay. And then we're going to place it just below this bottom box here. And there should be roughly 1/8 of an inch all the way around this piece. Okay. And we're going to top stitch across there. Just along that bottom. Oh, change stitch length again. And you could tie it off. Leave your tails long and tie it off if you want. There we go. And it's stitched on the back. Okay. Now we're going to place some tape along the edges here. Right along these edges. Excuse me. And I'm going to place some tape right in here. And we're going to take one of our lining pieces and we're going to measure down. Okay. I'm going to do this top one first. I'm just laying it right up against the ruler there, gently. There we go. Then I'll start removing all this tape and letting it fall into place naturally. Gently let it fall into place so it doesn't stretch or come out of shape. Then we're going to remove the tape from, or the backing from this tape here. And just let that gently fall into place there. Get everything taped down. Love the contrast on there. Okay, now we're going to make some marks on here so that we can sew this on. Hopefully I'll be able to see them. Okay, we're going to do this part first. We're going to make a little box on each end and around the bottom. Okay. So. I'm just putting a couple dots, some start and stop marks for myself. Okay, hopefully I can see them okay. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to start over here. I'm going to put the needle down where these stitches are. We're going to go up here, across, and then all the way around. Come up, go across, and back down. Okay? Let's see how we do. And these stitches I'll try to leave long. These threads. Come on. There we go. Let's try to leave these threads long. tiny needle down right there. And we're going to come across. There we go. Okay, we're going to tie these off. I didn't do the box part, but it looks like a box, so we're good. Making sure my needle wasn't sticky from the tape I put on there. Okay, let me show you what we've done here. See? Up and around the bottom. And on the front, it looks like a box right there. And now you have your slip pocket done. Okay, now we're going to sew around the whole outer edge of this zipper part. Okay, I'm going to leave my tails long again. What is it, girlfriend? I think Lemon wants to come in. It's not closed, baby. where we started. Up a little bit so I can get them tied. Come on. Do you hate it when your fingers decide not to work? Okay. Well, one more. There we go. Looks good. Now we're going to cut out just this zipper part. Okay. And don't cut your overlay. That would not be a good idea. I think I'm going to have to do a double or a back stitch on that spot there where I tied it, because it's not looking very good. It's making me nervous. Don't want my overlay to come off. There we go. Good thing I used the matching color thread. Now we've got our opening. Okay, so we're going to get our zipper pocket lining and some zipper tape and a zipper. All the things we're going to need. Oh, I didn't do, I'm going to have to do those connectors too. Make sure I get those done. Okay, and a zipper. Cut my zipper just a little bit longer than the pocket here. So we'll go ahead and put the zippers on. Burn the edge and the ends. I should have gotten some paw print in the rose gold, but I didn't. Oh, come on. Can't be out already. There we go. Okay, let me get these on real quick. And my other zipper pull while I'm here. I'll cut this one down in a little bit when I get the zipper panel ready. Okay. Just wanted to have my zipper pulls on there. Okay. And she has in the pattern how you can do this. I'm just going to do the way I like how I've been doing it lately. So that's the way I'm going to show you, but there's, you know, the other way in the pattern where you would sew both sides of the lining to either side of the zipper, and then you would fold it open, top stitch it, put it in that way. But I'm going to do it this way instead. You do you. Whichever way you like to do. Whichever way you find it easiest for your brain. Almost 2 hours in. Okay. Got the tapes on there. Okay, what I'm going to do, zipper going to the left, I'm going to remove the tape from one of the pieces. I'm going to lay this down on here. Just going to make sure I've got enough zipper hanging off each end. Okay. And what I'm going to do is remove the tape from the bottom first. Okay. See my zippers going to the left. And I'm going to put this in here. Okay. And we're going to center our zipper teeth in there. There we go. And then I'll remove the tape from the other side of the zipper. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the needle down about 1/8 of an inch on this short end, and I'm going to sew across this bottom and stop about 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to leave my tails long so that I can pull them through. Okay. Now we're going to tie these off in the back. And then we will fold that down out of the way, and we'll place the other part of the lining because this is a drop-in, we don't have to worry about leaving any pockets open. I'm just going to fold this down out of the way. Okay, then we'll take our other lining piece where we've placed the tape, remove the backing, and make sure your sides line up with your other pocket. And we're putting at the top edge of the zipper tape. Like so. Okay. Then from this side, we're going to put our needle down right here where we ended. We're going to go up the short side, across the top, and back down and end in that hole. And then tie it off. Make sure you keep your zipper pull out of the way. Okay. Pull them to the back, tie them off. And then we'll sew the sides and the bottom closed. There we go. I'm going to trim this to the same length. I think I need to oil my scissors. They sound kind of squeaky. Okay. And then I'm going to trim down the zipper part and burn the edges, just so that we don't have all this zipper in the seams. Cinch the edges, maybe. Almost time to get another layer out. There we go. There's that side of the lining. We've got our zipper pocket and we've got our little slip pocket. So pretty. Okay, now we're going to take our other lining piece and our slip pocket lining with our trim. And let's get our little tag out because I don't want to forget that. Oh, let me do those really quick before I forget about them. My connectors. And I'm just doing them like we did the handles. Just tape down the center, fold the edges in to meet up, and then we're going to top stitch on either side. I didn't want to get to the end and realize that I had forgotten to put the crossbody connectors on. Okay, place that in wrong sides together. And we're just going to stitch this closed. Okay, let's put that aside for now. Because we're going to need them in a little bit. Let's work on this. Okay, let me mark my center line here. Okay, got that marked. And place tape on either side of that. Okay, we're going to take our slip pocket lining pieces and put them wrong sides together. And we're going to stitch those together. 3/8 seam allowance. I said wrong sides, right sides together. Okay. And now we're going to fold it right side out. And match our raw edges at the top. clips down here just to hold it. There we go. Okay. Matching our raw edges at the top. And we're going to stitch this closed. Now we're going to take our lining piece here, remove the tape backing, and place that on there. There we go. And take the tape off this other end here. Okay. And we're going to fold that over. I might need some clips here. I'm going to stitch it from this side because, let's see, where's the center? Put it in there. There we go. Now we're going to top stitch it. Okay, I stitched from this side because the other side was a little bit longer with the way I folded it on. So that way I caught the back also and the front. Okay, let's find our measurements for our pocket. We want to divide it into that and the center. I'm going to use the big one. Hold on. Gonna have to use my, let's see if that will work. Yep. And your erase pen. And here. Okay, and then we will find the center, which is there we go. Okay, what we're going to do And this is going to be there. I'm just going to put a teeny piece of tape to hold this down. Okay. Got my measurement. And we will place it here. And centered. There we go. Okay. We're going to sew down the edge here. Okay, we're going to go across the bottom to this first line. We're going to sew up next to that line. All the way up. And I'm going to go over at least one stitch. And then back down next to that line to the bottom. To the next line. This is the center line. And across one and back down. Down. All the way there. And then back up this side. There we go. And then we'll trim off the excess on the end here. Isn't that cute? I love the pink with the turquoise. Okay, let's trim off this excess. There we go. That part's done. Now we've done the connectors, so they will go in. Let's see. They will both go in on the same side. Both going to be on the right. And we're going to put them let's see, there. Oh, can't even see that. There. And there. take them and place them. I'm matching up where I stitched. I made like 3/8 stitch there. Yes, and that's where the edge of my panel is. And then I'm going to stitch this on. Let's see, and it says 1/4 inch. Okay. There's that one. And then because you're putting them on the same side when you're looking at them, when you put them together, they'll be on opposite sides. So you can clip your crossbody strap to it. Okay. See, when you put them together, they'll be on opposite sides. Okay, now we're going to move on to our zipper panel. There's our zipper panel. Okay. Flipping over. This is going to be pretty much like our other, excuse me, any other zipper panel that we've done. Looking to see if there we go. So I'm going to put a piece of tape on these two first because I want them to match up, sort of, with the zipper in between. Okay, now flip them over. And we're going to make some marks on the back, which okay. We'll mark both ends. On each of these. Quit moving. Okay, then we're going to put some tape there and fold the ends to the tape. Fold these ends in to the tape, or to that line we marked. And do the same on the exterior. Okay, that part's done. We're going to take our zipper I've already put the zipper pull on. And on the end that's going to open, and you slide it to the left. This is the end that's going to open. We're going to do a 90-degree turn down here. Okay, and what you could do is you can mark it. Let's see. Let's say I'm going to do the 1/2 inch mark roughly. I don't know if you can see that. See that dark mark there? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it open down here, and I'm going to pinch it right there at that mark. When I do that, it kind of goes off to the side there. See? Then I'll take a pin, straight pin, and I'll put it in there to hold it. And I'll do the same on the other side. Pinch it at that line and pull it to the left. Stick a pin in it. There we go. Now we're going to just stitch those down to hold it in that angle that we want. Make sure you move your pin out of the way. You can also singe the edges on this to help hold it. Just to seal it all together so you don't lose your zipper pull later. Okay, so we've got our 90-degree. There we go. Okay, we're going to take, let me see. So I want the zipper to sit in here. We're going to remove the tape, backing. We're going to place the zipper just below that end down there. Okay. Along the edge, gently. You don't have to pull it tight. And then we will sandwich the lining, the zipper between the lining and the exterior. And then we will stitch it on. My bottoms aren't lining up, so I'm retaping it down there. Okay, and we are using, let's see, one side we are using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I'm going to move my zipper pull out of the way. My thread came out. Started fraying a little bit. And then we're going to fold this back. And we're going to meet up our edges here. And then we're going to top stitch around this whole thing. There we go. One side done. Okay, I'm going to remove the tape. From the other side. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to match up with the one we've already done. I'm just going to line this up. And then we'll put our teeth down. There we go. Don't match up. There we go. That's better. Okay. Then we'll do the sandwich thing. And then we'll stitch it together 1/4 inch like we did earlier. Okay. Hold that out of the way. match up our sides here. Okay. Now we're going to do the top stitch. Okay, there we go. Got our zipper panel done. I'm going to fold this in half so I can match up, or so that I can mark the centers. Of those. Now we're going to take our back panel, and with their zipper going to the left, mark. I'll go ahead and cut down my zipper, and I will put a zip end on this later. For now, I'm just going to stitch it closed. So that we don't lose the zipper when we open it. Okay, now, move that out of the way. Match up the centers. Okay, and we will get a top piece. Okay. Take one of our top pieces and match up our centers. We'll go all the way out to the edge here. Okay. Now we're going to stitch that down at our 3/8 inch seam allowance. Make sure your D-ring is out of the way. Okay, now we're going to flip this up. Oops. And I'm going to flip the whole panel up with the seams going down toward the body. And we're going to top stitch along the lining here. Isn't that pretty? Okay, now we're going to take our front piece and do the same thing. We'll match up our centers. And then we'll take our top piece, match up our centers. Make sure your D-ring is down out of the way. Okay. Okay, now we will flip that panel up out of the way. Do it from this side so we don't have so much under there. The seam going down towards the bottom. Top stitch on the lining. And there we go. Now we got those done. Okay, and we will. Now we're going to sew them together at the side seams. Matching up your side seams. D-ring might be a little tricky, but we'll see. Probably could have moved it over just a little bit more. Tuck your zipper in so you don't accidentally sew over it. That would not be a good idea. Pretty sure. Pretty sure it wouldn't be a good idea. Okay. Okay, we are going to do this. We're going to increase our seam allowance on this. We're going to start at 3/8 of an inch, then go to 1/2 an inch and end at 3/8 of an inch. Okay. So we're going to start at the top at 3/8. and then increase it to half. Oops. And then decrease it back to 3/8. Okay, we'll do the same over here. We'll start at 3/8 of an inch. We'll increase it to half an inch. And decrease it back down to 3/8. Okay. Then we're going to trim. Okay, I'm just going to trim in this 1/2 inch section here. Same over here. There we go. Done. Now we're going to take our lining bottom. Cut our centers because I didn't do that yet. We're going to put this in like we did our exterior, except we're going to use a larger seam allowance. Oh, I didn't trim the edges. Oops. Let me trim around these curves really quick. Okay. On to the other side. Match up the centers. And we're going to butterfly the end open down here. Maybe we'll just go towards the back because it doesn't want to. Because of that other piece in there, that's fine. It's the lining, we're fine. I have to use some staples on this too. I didn't think I would, but this is a little bit stiffer material. Just to make sure that we don't lose it. I'll place some staples in it. Get my stapler. That one was quite low. Hopefully it's not going to be too low. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, let's undo this first so that I can get my hands on it here. Okay, we're going to be doing a larger seam allowance around the bottom here. It just helps it fit nicely into the union bag. Yep. Okie doke. Now let's trim this down. That one's going to have to come out first. And this one over here. Oh, missed another one. That one had to come out. Oh, that one's going to have to come out. Ugh. I didn't have that many I had to take out first. Okay. That's good. Oops, that goes on here. Not on the other one. Okay, hold on just a sec. I'm gonna check some measurements. Well, I told you wrong. I said it was a drop-in lining, but it's not. It's a turned bag. But I did mine as a drop-in lining. What I did was on the wrong side of the lining and the exterior, I marked down 3/4 of an inch from the top, and I marked it, followed the curve, and then I put some tape on that mark, just above that mark. Then I snipped into the curved areas here and here, you know, around here, so it would fold in nicely, and I just folded it down in there on both of them, and then I clipped all the way around, and now I'm about to top stitch. So yay me for not reading the pattern more carefully, but that's okay. You can do this as a drop-in. It's fine. Just make sure you move your handles out of the way, because we will do the rivets on those in just a minute. Okay, so I'm going to start at the back side here, and I'm going to go from the inside, just making sure that all of my handles and D-rings and all that are out of the way. And make sure that your zipper panel is down out of the way. Make sure your D-rings are out of the way too. I might have already said that, but it's okay to repeat. Okay, let me get her fluffed up because I squished her. There we go. She looks good. Yep. Stitches look good. Should have got the cat hair one out because there is cat hair with this one. For sure. Okay. There's our D-rings inside here. So that we can just pull those up and add our crossbody strap in a minute. Oops. There she is. Okay, let's get those rivets on. And they're going to go through this front, the handle and the front panel here, not through the zipper. Okay, let's see if there's a measurement down there for that. Let's see. Install rivet 3/4 inch up from the seam. Okay. Let's see if I can mark this from the seam and centered. There. It's centered there. Yep, that looks good. Okay, I'm going to punch the hole in the handles first, and then through the main body. I might have to use my extra long rivets, we'll see. Okay, and then I will use my pen through the hole to mark where that one's going. There. Okay, and I'm going to punch my holes not through the zipper panel, just through the exterior and the lining piece. Yep. Okay, let's get our rivets out. My rose gold, since I'm using rose gold hardware. Put it through the handle first, and then through the body. Oh yeah, the regular ones are fine. And then the cap. Well, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it looks really good. Okay. I'm gonna set these, and then I'll move the camera up so that we can see, and I can show you how it looks. Hold on. Okay, here we are. We are done with her. Rachel from Sincerely Jen. I used the Rescue Kitties from the Empurrium and the Ace Glitter Ballet Slipper from, or Pink Pumps, excuse me, from Mormino. And look at the inside. We have a slip zipper pocket on the back, and then we have multiple slip pockets, divided slip pockets on the front. We've got two hidden pockets on the front and the back. She's so pretty. Oh my gosh. I went ahead and put the rivets in and set them, and I put on a zip end, and then I'll do the crossbody strap in a minute. But she's really pretty. I'm really happy with her. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me, and I hope you try this one. I want to see what you guys make, and I'll see you next time. Bye.